it's going up.
What? My weight?
Well, I didn't want to bring it up till just now, but I figured we'd do this live on the podcast. No, the numbers on the counter are going up. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast. It's All Fish and Chips, the podcast. My name is Thor, and this is not correct. This is episode 82. I have 72 written down, and I was like, that number's not right.
Yeah.
Episode 72 of the podcast. It's All Fish and Chips, the podcast. And we're excited to be here. Sitting across the table from me today, still got a coat on because he thinks it's too cold in here. We've got Bubby.
Howdy.
And then joining us live via radio waves shooting through the air. Marconi is somehow involved, I think. We've got Amanda.
Hi.
Hi. And then like a fart in the wind, Tyler ain't here. He's still figured his shenanigans out, but he said he is coming back on a more regular basis. We'll see. And then tragic news that I would like to say tonight, this afternoon, this morning, whenever you're listening to the podcast. The official fifth member of the podcast has passed away. That being Bubby's hopes for a three-peat at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
The Kansas City Chiefs.
I tell you, those Eagles, that defense was dominant.
Yeah.
They knew what they had to do. They had to take down Mahomes, and that's what they did. Get
to the Mahomie, and it all falls apart.
You're not wrong.
This is the same thing that Tom Brady ran into, which was that if you can stop that dominant quarterback, you could pretty much stop that defense or that offense.
Right. Yeah, and they did.
Everybody watched the game, or most of it anyway.
Except the last 5 minutes, and I heard they scored 2 touchdowns in that last 5 minutes.
Yeah. So
defense must have just stayed off the field.
Right. So, it's the day after the Super Bowl, where the Kansas City Chiefs were defeated resoundingly by the Eagles.
Yeah, I was totally wrong. I predicted a close game. Not even.
We
close.
at the. So I'll go through what we did here a little bit. But we did went to the in-laws' house, and they did the over under on it, and we were picking where we thought the line would be on that. And so I went high and was told that number was already picked. So then I went a little lower. I was told that number was already picked. So I went a little lower and just told that number was already picked. I said at that point, I don't care.
Right.
And then I was assigned a very low number, and I was the winner.
Right.
Because holy heck, the Kansas City Chiefs folded like a house of cards. They were not prepared for the Eagles and their dominance, which makes me feel better about my team, the Washington football team, because that was the only team that stopped them too. So it was true. It was destined to be.
Yeah.
So, Bub, you have what'd you do for the Super Bowl? Did you do it at the house?
No. Well, yes and no.
Okay. Pre-gamed at the house.
So the youth at the church were having to get together to watch the Super Bowl. So we dropped Parker off, let him, hang out with the kids, do whatever slang stuff they do.
Can I just hold on 1 second here, Bubby?
Okay.
I'm sorry to all the listeners, and I have upset you, and I understand that I have upset you. Traffic and weather on the 8. It's cold out there, kids, and it's only going to get colder. Continue.
Okay. And so we decided me and Kathy were going to go to a sports bar and watch it.
Oh, fancy.
So we went to the Roost, which is a really good local place.
Yep. Did you slide the little pucks down the?
No, we just ate
shuffleboard,
ate dinner, and watched the beginning of the game.
Okay.
And then proceeded to say, we just want to go watch this at home. So we.
How far did you get, Bubby? How far into the game did you get at the Roost?
We got almost to intermission. So maybe
intermission.
Halftime. Probably about halfway through second quarter, and we drove home, which we only live maybe 2 miles from there, and we're sitting in my house watching for halftime.
Okay. So you saw Kendrick Lamar and the rest of it.
Yes.
Okay. Overall, where are you going to rate this one?
What, the Super Bowl or the
Yeah.
halftime?
Super Bowl, the whole combined kit and caboodle. Commercials, game, halftime, the whole 9 yards. Where are you putting this one?
That's a lot to put in one number.
Top, middle, bottom.
Well, it's going to be at the bottom just because we lost.
All right, Bubby says bottom because the Chiefs did not win. How about you, Amanda? What'd you do for the big game?
First, when the game started, I went to the grocery store because I knew nobody else would be there.
Just straight off the bat, like, all right,
I'm sure there wasn't.
Correct.
streets are clear. Let's go.
It was great. And then I watched the game. I was, of course, like 20 minutes behind everybody, the rest of the world.
Oh, you were watching it on delay?
Yeah, we paused it and then watched because, I mean, it's fine. I don't really care.
No, and you can skip past the boring bits.
Did you watch commercials?
Some.
Okay. What's your favorite one? Can you remember your favorite?
I liked the one with Stitch running all over the field.
That's the one I was going to say too.
That was a good intro to the football game.
That was a good one. And then I also liked the one where Snoop Dogg and Tom Brady were yelling at each other.
Yeah, about hate. Yep, that's a good one.
Yeah, that pulled on the heartstrings. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
You saw the Lady Gaga performing there?
I heard it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
In the I didn't really watch the pre-stuff because I was getting ready to go to the grocery store.
Gotcha.
So, but yeah, I watched it. It was good. I liked halftime.
Okay. Bobby, how'd you feel about Kendrick Lamar?
Couldn't understand a word he was saying until he slowed down. I was like,
it was really good.
I don't know if this is good or not because I can't understand.
Okay.
I think
I liked that. Made some political statements.
Yep.
Hated on Drake a little bit.
Right.
Actually, a lot bit.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, he was the best part. I thought.
Sneaky Serena Williams in there that you didn't even notice her until she was gone.
It's not sneaky. It's not sneaky. It's all a part of that story.
True. I know. I'm just like, I was like, hey, Serena. Oh, bye. I guess we're done playing with her.
Mm-hmm.
I thought she was going to do something else besides the what is that? I don't remember what that dance is called.
I don't know.
The Icky Shuffle. We'll say the Icky Shuffle. That's the one that me and Bubby and a bunch of old people just got.
Oh.
That's an old football dance.
Yeah, but I thought the game was good. I mean, I really enjoyed watching Patrick Mahomes get shot down repeatedly. I thought it was pretty great to watch.
Sacked so many times.
I know.
He was such a sad boy by the end of that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like Bubby.
Good, though. I think I don't think I've watched that many Super Bowl games,
right.
But I think it ranked pretty high.
All right. Man's going.
Entertainment. I was entertained.
Top side there.
There were a lot of memes afterward of Patrick Mahomes.
My sister my sister who binge listened the entire podcast, right?
She's all caught up.
All caught up. She's current with the episode, so she's gonna be listening to this one as it gets posted.
Just under a prize. That's pretty impressive,
that
right?
Is.
Text me during the game and says, Bubby must be doing a dance of joy. To which I wanted to reply, the only dance Bubby is doing is at the end of a rope at this point.
Right.
Because you were down like 24 at this point. And she goes, I thought he liked the Eagles. I was like, you have not been listening at all because he is a Chiefs fan 100% of the way. And he is.
I revoke her prize. Just because you play them doesn't mean that you listen to them.
Right. So, yeah. She thought you were going to be excited, and then she was sad for you.
Stephanie, right?
Huh?
Your sister's name?
Hey, good news. Bubby's not paying attention to the podcast either.
I'm trying to remember.
Sarah.
We
say it at the end of every podcast because she's a sponsor. She's a friend of the podcast.
Get it together, Sarah.
There you go. So that happened. We went over to the in-laws' house, took the dogs so they can go run with their cousins. and we're watching the game over there. Had a nice little spread, smorgasbord. Everyone was very excited. Everyone was in their Chiefs gear. I was in my Washington football team gear because that's the only gear I own. So, and the game kicks off and things are going, as they were going. And we get to halftime and halftime happens. And then the game, second half starts out like it does with Patrick Mahomes getting sacked twice almost immediately. And at that point, everyone's like, well, I guess we're probably going to head out of here pretty soon because no one thought that game was going to get any better. And so about the start of the fourth quarter, that place had pretty much cleared out, and we were home by like 8:30. So we did not see them score their only touchdown or go for two for some reason.
Yeah, they wanted to at least make it look like they scored 2 touchdowns and extra points.
Yeah, but they had not scored squat. So, that all happened. It was a very sad day at work today. There was a lot of quietness in the meetings that we had this morning. Not a lot of frivolity.
Yeah, we were talking about in our staff meeting, like, how did yesterday go and everything. And everybody was like, we're not talking about after 5 o'clock.
Yeah, you talk up to, but not including 5 o'clock.
Right.
All right. So, what was the best football food that you had yesterday?
It's got to be buffalo wings.
Did you have those at the Roost or at the house?
The Roost.
Okay.
Yeah, we didn't eat anything at the house.
Amanda, you went to the grocery store. What was your best football food?
Well, I didn't buy things at the grocery store to eat with football.
Oh.
So we'll go with a cookie.
A cookie. All right. We had cowboy caviar, and I love me some cowboy caviar. You know what that is?
No, sir. Tell me.
It's like black beans and onions and peppers and corn and just kind of southwesty, Tex-Mexy kind of dip with I think it has Italian dressing in it. Maybe there's some in the fridge. You can try some if you want. It's delicious. I love cowboy caviar. If you don't know what it is, look it up on the internet, kids. It's got a lot of ingredients. It's going to take you a while to make it. You got to do a lot of chopping and
a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything, but it's pretty good. I'm gonna have some tonight, as a matter of fact.
With your sweet tea.
But Amanda, you missed out. Bubby bought me a sweet tea from McAllister's and brought it to me today. So
I'm so sad I missed watching you enjoy that.
It was just going to be the two of us.
I don't know what I'm missing out on.
Yeah, if you had been here, you could have got a tea too.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yum.
Okay, thanks, Bobby.
Okay, I don't know if she likes tea or not, but here we are.
I don't see you liking sweet tea.
Oh,
I hate sweet tea.
Yeah, that's what we figured. Do you like regular, like unsweet tea?
I love unsweet tea.
Okay.
But do you put like a fake sweetener in it or just plain?
No, you drink it. You drink it.
I'm just asking because
you drink leaf soup just like it's intended, Bubby.
Like my wife will get regular tea and then put sweetener in it. Like
why are you going the long way? That's like sweet tea, but
she
with
wants
extra
artificial. She doesn't want the actual sugar
because
calories or whatever.
Calories. Like calories. I don't know. I don't know what any of this is.
Calories.
Count them calories. All right.
Sugar free.
You know what? She can do whatever she wants. I ain't gonna yuck her yum. If she wants to put the artificial sweeteners in her, she can do that all she wants.
It's like drinking Diet Coke.
Yeah.
With fake sweetener in it.
Right? Well, All right. We got a couple things to get to here. I'm kind of interested in getting to Amanda's thing first, though. I kind of want to do this. Amanda, you want to set it up or you want me to set it up?
I can set it up.
All right. You set her up. We'll knock her down.
Okay, you ready for my fancy setup?
Fancy setup, ladies. Well, hold on a second. I don't know which button it is. I'm just going to guess. Nope. Ah, damn it. I don't even have the drum roll on here. It's on the other page. And there's like 9 buttons on that one. I'm not going to hit them all. Drum roll. All right, go ahead.
Okay. So I want to know what your favorite lie that you tell yourself. Like, what's your favorite lie that you tell yourself? And so basically, like, what do you know is a lie, whether you found out from like your parents when you were a kid or like the world just like told you this lie and you're like fully embrace it and choose to believe it on a daily basis. Like, it's not true, but you accept the fact that it is true.
Okay. This is a different, so the way this was worded in the Slack, this is a different question you have posed. I read this as, what is the lie you tell yourself that you know is not true, but you want to believe is true?
That's what I thought.
So,
well, it can be that.
Okay, I will give
those are all the same to me, because essentially, like, at some point you learned it is not true, so you'd still be telling yourself that this,
right. But yours is a much like a world, like the world told you this, and then it turned out it's not, but you still want to believe that. Mine was, so I had like 4 of them for the lies I tell myself, but we'll get to all those here in a second. Amanda, what's your kick it off here?
Counseling on the 9s.
Counseling on the 9s. What's your example here? What's your kickoff here?
Well, okay, so to follow the thought that you guys went with, so I tell myself, so, and this started when I was in probably elementary school, probably on my way to school one early morning in the car. It was raining. Okay. The streets were really wet. And when you have like a black street and it rains and then it's kind of dark outside and the stoplights, you can see the reflection in the ground. Yep. You know what I'm talking about?
Know exactly what you're talking about?
Sure.
Okay. And when I was a child, I told myself, like, it looked like the light reflection goes like down into the earth. Okay. And so it was like, so in my head, I'm like, this is like when it rains and it's like just dark enough outside, you're transported and you can like see into the underworld. Oh. And so you can kind of get a glimpse of what's happening. And if like the lights are green, then all is good. And if the lights are red, something's going on. Okay. And I know it's really weird, but so like I kind of like, if I'm driving to work and I can, like, all of the scenarios are right for this to happen, and I can see either like more green lights or more red lights or, like different colors or whatever. Right. If there's predominantly like green, I'm like, it's going to be a good day. Everything's okay. And if I see a lot of red, I'm like, I should probably just go home.
Okay. There's a little bit of superstition involved in that one.
Yeah.
I will say
slowly created myself.
I will say something I used to believe that I know is not true anymore. On almost the exact same topic, I used to think people controlled the stoplights. I thought that was a dude's job. Like, I thought there was a guy who like was making sure like all the like he had a big old like. Yeah, I love a wall of buttons, right? You know I'm a big fan of a wall of buttons. And this guy just had the biggest wall of buttons and cameras. And he could see, like, and he would just go through and go, oh, traffic's getting a little slow here. And he'd switch over the thing, and he'd look over here, and he'd switch over that one. And he'd look up there, and he'd switch over that one. I thought there was a dude doing that for the longest time growing up. I mean, eventually I was not that person, and I realized that they're just automated and they do a thing on their own. I think the first time you ever sat at like 2 a.m. at one waiting for it to change, there's no dude.
Right. I also imagined on this road topic when I was probably way longer, and I still imagine it sometimes. I don't know why, but like, especially when you're on a really long stretch of road, like going, like, say through Kansas or something where it's all flat. Like, I imagine that at the end of the road, I'm not really moving. There's just a caterpillar, and it has to be a caterpillar because he has to have a lot of hands. Right, a lot of. I see where we're going. Yep. But he's just like rolling like a scroll of the road, so it's just like repeating and repeating and repeating. And then the scenery, he's also like rolling on a giant scroll. Yep. And it's like the Truman Show or whatever, but it's the
Right.
Great Caterpillar Road Show.
Yep. That's one of the theories of faster than light travel is that in fact you are not traveling faster, but the universe, you speed up the universe around you. So kind of the same thing.
Is it all controlled by a caterpillar?
Maybe cosmic caterpillar, just making the roads go, making the spaceships go fast. Hey, if you're out there, cosmic caterpillar, listening to the podcast, write in, please, because I'd love to hear from you. All right, Bubby, what do you got over there?
Mine's sad.
Okay.
Compared to y'all's.
Oh.
Like, the lie I always tell myself is that I just can go down into my basement and work out on my elliptical machine, and I wouldn't have any problem losing weight. But it's just getting down there.
It's actually making the trip down and climbing onto that machine.
Yeah. I'm just lying to myself like I'm going to actually go down and do it.
Yeah, like all I got to do is. But I don't know if you've been to my basement, but have you seen the veritable plethora of exercise machines that are down there?
Yeah,
just slowly collecting dust. Yeah,
same.
Okay, I had a couple of them. First of all, to go on the ones that the universe told me was true, and then I still believe to be true. Pluto is a planet, and there ain't a person on this world that could tell me different. All right,
right.
I don't care what they say.
That's why we grew up learning.
I don't care what any science they want to throw at me. Pluto is a planet. All right, that's the big one. Now, after I heard Amanda's explanation, the ones that I had thought of, the lies I tell myself, there are several. One of them is I can win in a fight. I don't know. Almost 52 years old, all right? I'm going to be real honest with you. The first fight that I get into at this point in time in my life, I'm going to throw up my back. My knee's going to go out. I'm going to fall down on the floor. I'm probably going to pee myself a little bit, and I'm going to cry. But I like to believe that if I were in a situation where I needed to defend myself, that wouldn't happen. But in reality, more than likely, almost instantly, my back will go out. Probably. I'm almost positive. The first punch I throw, my back's just going to seize up and go out.
Probably.
And then it's downhill from there. So that was number one. Number two, I like to think that I am fairly adept at technology and science and new stuff. And I like to think that, I'm a pretty smart guy. I can figure any of this out. I know what's going on. And then I read like a scientific article where they're explaining to math ones especially, but also like there's a lot of talk about quantum teleportation right now. And so I'm like, oh, I'm interested in this. And I'll start reading the article. And I realize about 2 paragraphs in that I am way too dumb to be reading this article.
A lot of big words.
Not only a lot of big words, but a lot of words that I have no idea what they are. They could be short words. I just don't know what that word means. And so I spend, about 10 minutes trying to decipher what's going on. And then I go, I probably don't really need to know this as much as I thought I did. But it turns out I'm just not as smart as I think I am.
Do you read manuals for the equipment that you get?
Never read. You read the manual as a last resort, Bubby. First, you go in thinking, I can do that. And I'll be honest with you. Yeah. In the industry that I work in and the business that I do, I'm usually right in terms of gear because they have tried to make it as simple as they can for monkeys like me.
Right.
But I will inevitably turn to the manual and then online forum, and then I will have to call somebody.
I will go YouTube tutorial first before I read.
Oh, no, that's your first stop. That anybody in the world.
Yeah.
I had to change a headlight in one of our company vehicles the other day. And I was like, I don't know how to do this, but I bet you someone on the internet knows how to do this. And like 2 seconds later, I was like, oh, I know how to do this one. This one's easy.
Yeah. I do a lot of car repair from YouTube. Or lawnmower.
Yep.
Fix my lawnmower.
You rider lawnmower or you pushy lawnmower?
Both.
See, I got that electric mower now. I don't think there's any fixing it. I think if that thing dies, I just got to throw it away because it's like brushless motors in there. And like,
right.
I don't know. See.
What does that mean?
Yeah, what does any of this mean? Like, I took it apart. I'm just going to be looking at pieces and go, well, none of that makes sense to me.
There's no brushes in there.
Yeah, I don't know how. Yeah, where's the brushes at? Brushless motor? How does this work? I don't know how motors work. How does magnets work? So, yeah, I've got that going for me. So it was the win in a fight. It was that one. I thought I had a third, but I don't remember what it was. But definitely those two. Yeah, those are lies that I tell myself that I definitely, I don't think. I mean, there's a lot of things like as a kid you believe to be true and just
Yeah.
that didn't work out for you.
No.
Like
I like
Easter
to carry
Bunny?
those things into my adulthood because it's a nice memory of,
Right.
remember when I thought the world was this simple? And it's not.
Right. And as we go further and further into this particular timeline that we are living in, you need to hold on to every bit of that you can, kids, because if you've got something that you a lie you tell yourself, or a lie that the universe told you that you still want to believe is true, write us into the podcast. It's allfishandchips@gmail.com. Man, have you been checking that email address?
Yes.
Okay.
It's really easy to check something that doesn't get anything.
Right. I don't have to. It doesn't take very long. I just look at it and go, meh. So, I'd like to update us on. Did we talk about the one episode that is going crazy on the podcast, or did we talk about that just amongst ourselves?
The church clap.
Yep. We've got
It was a good episode.
right. It has like 46 more downloads. And from all over the world. I don't know if somebody on a different podcast mentioned that episode, or we just happened, like there's a outbreak of chlamydia in churches right now. I'm not sure what's happening, but that episode is gone viral for some reason, and it just people keep downloading it from like Uzbekistan and like South Africa.
Maybe they're looking. We'll say on Spotify. Maybe they're looking on Spotify
Right.
for the song Church Clap. And they see this and they're like, well, I'm interested.
Maybe. And if you have wandered into this podcast thanks to that episode, welcome.
Hope you stick around.
Yeah, I hope you stick around. Let us know how you got here, because I am more than curious how you found that one.
There's more than 80 more episodes.
It is currently more popular this month than the last episode we posted, if that tells you anything. So
I have to go back and listen to it.
Amanda did. Yeah, and that's just going to throw the whole thing into freaking disarray even more, because now we've got more downloads happening in that podcast. Get on it, kids. That's our number one episode currently, I think. That or banana pudding. Those are the two that were I think are vying for our number one episode currently. So anyway, fun on a bun. Oh shit, shenanigans. I'm gonna tell a little story. Gather around, kids. It's story time. I had to go to Cassville, Missouri. Bubby, you been to Cassville, Missouri?
I've been through there.
Okay, go down to Monette, make a left by the jet fighter and the water park.
Right.
Go down there for a while, Cassville. I had to go down there for a thing. And about 1 o'clock, we get done with the thing we're doing down there. And I was like, oh, let's go grab some food. And we can grab some food in here in town. We just kind of drive into town. And we come up on this barbecue place. And it's me and another gentleman was with me. And we go, oh, barbecue. That's always pretty good. We'll go to this barbecue place. I don't remember the name of the place. Hell's Kitchen, we're going to call it. We go into the barbecue place, and there's like two people in there, and then a girl behind the counter. And I'm like, oh, this is going well. So we go up to the thing, and I'm looking at the board, and I always question, I always ask the people there, like, what's the best thing here? What's the thing you like? What do you want to eat here? And she goes, oh, I'd get the baked potato, which is usually what I get, the barbecue baked potato. They put some, pork on there and a little cheese and whatever. And it's usually pretty good, right? I was like, oh. And then underneath that is just the words Marple Bowl, Marple, Marple Bowl. And I go, what's the Marple Bowl? And she goes, oh, that's our most popular item. I went, oh, it's the most popular item. I better get that then. Not totally ignoring the words she told me to do. Mm-hmm. I'll have the Marple Bowl, please. She goes, okay.
Why didn't you ask what's in it?
It's the most popular item, Bubby.
Doesn't matter. Right?
Doesn't matter. It's the most popular. It's like the number one on the menu. When they have the sandwiches and they're all numbered. You want the number one. That's the one they're most proud of.
A lot of people like it.
A lot of people like the number one. That's why it's the number one. Mm-hmm. So I'll have the Marple Bowl, please. She goes, okay. And the guy I'm with, he goes, well, what else is good? And she goes, oh, well, you should get our special for today. It's the rib ends and with two sides, and it's only $8.99. And he goes, okay, I'll have that. So he gets the rib ends, two sides, $8.99. I get the Marple Bowl with a drink. Care to guess how much the Marple Bowl with a drink costs, Bubby?
I'm going to say $20.
17. You're real close. $8.99, 17. Okay, I'm already batting 1,000 right now. So he gets his food first, and it's this giant. I mean, I'm talking like 1.5 feet of rib, no bone, just all meat. She chops it up, gets beans and coleslaw with that, and he lets me try a piece of that later on, and it is delicious. It has to be the best thing they're serving right there for $8.99. It is delicious and a ton of meat. Okay,
Sounds good.
The Marple Bowl. Let me set the stage for you here on the Marple Bowl. They take a bowl, and then they've got all the food like on like in a restaurant on a table. They have, here's the coleslaw, here's the beans, here's the blah 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 blah. Right? She just proceeds to start at the beginning of the line and go take a scoop and go blap into the bowl. Mashed potatoes, blap. Coleslaw, blap. Beans, blap. Meat, blap. Cheese, blap. Sour cream, blap. Just everything they had, they just put in a bowl, and then they hand it to me and go, here you go, fat boy. Just eat out of this trough. And then they just go on your way. And I'm like, okay. And I go sit down, and I start eating. And I get about halfway through the Marple Bowl, and I'm like, I don't feel so good. I think this is a bad plan. And I looked over at the guy I'm with. I was like, I've made bad choices, and they are going to come back to haunt us. So we finish up our food, get back in the car, start driving to back to Springfield from Cassville. I don't even get halfway before I look over him and go, I think I might throw up a little bit.
Oh.
And he's like, seriously? I'm like, yeah, I've made terrible choices. We get back to work. Blah, blah, blah. About rest of my day. I'm at home. Like, it's like 7 o'clock at this point. We ate like at 1. It's like 7 o'clock. I text him back. I don't ever want to go to Cassville ever again. The people at Cassville are wild animals eating the Marple Bowl. It's the most popular thing, and it almost killed me. I was sick for 2 days. Like, I didn't, not sick, but just like it didn't feel right for like 2 days from the Marple Bowl, from the smorgasbord of shenanigans they just put in a trough and fed me.
Yeah, my wife Kathy, she doesn't like her food to touch, so that would be awful.
Oh, she would lose her mind at the Marple Bowl. I don't care, Usually it's fine, but something in that mix was not my friend.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good to me.
And for $17 especially, it was not good. I should have just got the baked potato like the lady told me to do. She probably was like, when I said the Marple Bowl, she's like, oh, sure. I have to say it's our most popular item, but you should get the potato. I wish she had done that, because I would have gotten the potato if she had done that. So anyway, I survived. They didn't get me, not for lack of trying. And here we are to this day.
Bad decisions.
Yep. I'm always making them. I live by them. What's going on with Parker, Bubby? You said you had a little Parker story.
Yeah. So I told you that he went to the Superbowl party.
Yep. So you guys just left him there. Like, you went out to eat and then we're like, we're going home. You're on your own, boy. You'll find your way back.
Yep. All right.
Just like what's that movie with the 2 dogs and a cat? That movie. Journey Home or whatever it's called.
Homeward Bound.
Homeward Bound. Thank you, Bubby.
I can't believe I remembered that.
I thought Amanda was going to jump in on that one. She is still on the call.
Amanda?
She is
I'm here.
technically on the call.
All right. So we've talked before about Parker taking forever to put his clothes away.
Yep.
Unless you give him incentive like going to a Super Bowl party.
Oh, so if you put all your clothes away, then we can go to the Super Bowl.
Not just that.
Okay.
So we said...
You got the Super Bowl every weekend, Bubby.
We said in order for you to have time to do this, we told him the day before on Saturday he had to wash, dry, and put away his clothes all in the same day.
He's got to wash his own clothes?
He does.
Oh.
Yeah. We're trying to teach him to have initiative and independence and live on his own.
I'm going to take just a hot minute here, Bubby. I'm going to survey the room here. When you were growing up,
me and you.
Well, Amanda's here too.
Well, in the room, yes.
Yes, in on the podcast.
Yes, okay.
Growing up, did you ever have to do your own laundry?
After I got into high school, yes.
Okay, Amanda.
Yep, I did.
Weird. I never had to do my own laundry until I moved out. Like, it was just not a thing.
Well,
because because all our clothes went into my dad had installed a laundry chute that went from the second floor to the first floor. I have also installed one in my house. And so all the clothes just went in there. So my mom would just take them all and throw them in the washer, and everybody's clothes got washed at the same time. And good luck to you. Hope some of your stuff gets clean. So that's weird to me, but I understand.
Yeah, we did keep ours divided. He has his own clothes basket, puts his clothes in his clothes basket, and then in his closet, and then.
So none of your family clothes intermingle?
No.
I mean, he's a teenage boy, so you probably don't want your clothes touching those clothes. But.
No. And I have my own basket. Kathy has her own basket.
Do you do your own laundry?
I do, unless I'm gone, and I'll ask her, and she'll do laundry. But, yeah, I usually do my own.
This is fascinating to me.
Either her. Well, we have one basket for just all whites.
Okay.
So we intermingle our whites, except for Parker. All his go.
Racing. Yeah, you just get them color catchers. It don't matter anymore.
And so one of us will do whites. It doesn't matter. And then one will do towels. We have a basket for towels. All towels. And it just whoever gets to it first will do towels.
And Amanda, is in your household, same thing? Everybody's doing their own laundry?
Yep.
Okay. I've been informed on more than one occasion that I do it wrong and I'm not allowed to do it.
No.
Because I'm a put everything in the thing and the color catcher will sort it out. And I have been informed.
Okay, that's why you should be responsible for your own.
Yeah,
and then,
I'm fine with being responsible by my own, but she says, I'll just do it. You stop touching these things. Which,
But
fair.
if they're your clothes, then what does she care?
Because I'm going to mess up the machines. Because I'm going to put Dawn dish soap in there or something stupid, and it's going to be the end of the day. So she's just like, I'm going to take care of this one because I don't trust you, and rightfully so. I shouldn't be trusted.
Wow.
I'm out of detergent. I'm just going to use this. I'm going to use this Suave shampoo. Just squirt it in there. It'll be fine, right?
No.
Yeah, I can't be trusted. I'm a wild animal.
Wow. I just learned a lot more about you.
I wear jeans and a t-shirt every single day of my life if it's cold, and shorts and a t-shirt if it's not. It's not hard to do my laundry.
No.
Like I could take it down to the river, just beat it on a rock. It'll be fine. All right, continue. I'm sorry to sidetrack us.
No, that's pretty much it. So he was like, yeah, sure, I'll do my laundry. So yeah,
you got it all done
in one day, Saturday. Washed, dried, and put away his clothes, and was ready.
You checked under the bed and in the closet?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah. The only thing in the closet was what he had worn that.
I know them tricks.
That day. Yeah.
Kick it under the bed. It'll show back up eventually.
His dog likes laying under the bed.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Well, good for you, Parker. Get out there and you just, that's how you got to work it, Bubby. You just need to be on some sort of incent. You need one of them charts with stickers on it and get 15 stickers and you
get to go to the circus.
I'll do anything for a sticker.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it live on the podcast. Gentlemen, start your engines. I'll be honest with you. I love a good sticker. If you got a sticker, we could talk because I might be along with Manda on this one. It's got to be a good sticker, though. I don't want just a regular old, smiley face or
we've talked about this before.
Gold star one. But if you got Pokemon sticker or something, I'm in. Yeah. So anyway, that's what I'm saying here, though. Get to go to the circus, get to go to the Superbowl party, bungee jumping, go-karts, driving lessons. See, that's how you get them, to do some chores, and then you can take them back out driving, Bubby.
Yeah.
Teach them stick shift. Come on. We'll find an old stick shift car and teach you how to drive stick shift.
One I can borrow?
Yeah, I don't know. I try to think do I know anybody who owns a stick shift? And I don't think I do.
They make them much.
They still make them. Yeah, you can still buy it. You just got to pay extra. They got the paddle shifters now, though. A lot of cars just have the paddle shifters, which I don't understand the point of that.
The overdrive or
no, they got paddle shifters. So they're there's an up and a downy shifter. My wife, I think, has this. I just never use it. But you can hit the little flappy paddles underneath the steering wheel, and you can shift gears automatically. I mean, manually if you want to. I don't know why you would want to. It seems like a lot of effort.
Oh, but it's an automatic.
It's an automatic, but it has the option to.
Yeah, my Jeep has overdrive and underdrive. I can shift. Once I shift into drive, I can go left or right and down shift or up shift.
No, this one's actually.
I did that by accident the other day, and my Jeep goes.
Roar! But can you run through all 6 gears?
I do have a.
Old days.
like a low, like 2 low gears because I did it twice.
Right.
So yeah, there's a couple gears each one.
What was your stick shift car, Bubby, that you used to drive?
Well, I learned on my dad's pickup truck. It was
Okay.
On the
column. Yep.
Yeah, it was a 4-speed.
4-speed on the column.
So I learned how to drive. That was my first vehicle.
Okay. Did you ever own one? Stick shift?
Yeah, my Ford Ranger I had. Was
Okay.
5-speed.
How about you, Amanda? You know how to drive stick shift? Nope. Just no interest, no desire. You don't need to. It's not. It's like learning cursive now. You know.
True.
I mean, I don't mind learning. I've just never had the need to learn.
Okay. I used to have a Volkswagen Bug, 73 Super Beetle, and anybody could learn to drive stick shift on that car because the clutch engaged about half an inch into the push, and then the rest of the way to the floor was just open air. It was like there's nothing else happening. So as long as you could like tap the pedal down, you could shift gears. Mm-hmm. And I taught so many people to drive stick shift on that car. There was a girl in college who I fancied at the time who was taking a cross-country trip with some friend of hers, and her friend only had a stick shift, and she didn't know how to drive stick shift, but she had to share the driving. And so we went out in the parking lot, and she learned, and then I let her take it out on the highway. I was like, what's worse going to happen to this thing, right?
My first Jeep had a 5-speed as well.
Okay. So, but kids, you don't have to learn how to drive stick anymore. Like I said, you don't have to learn cursive. You don't have to learn how to drive a stick shift because those two things are gone now.
But they're fun.
They're fun. Are they?
I wouldn't, not in the city. I mean,
I had to take one through.
A lot of stops.
You ever been to the wild animal safari up north of town here, Bubby?
I've been by there. I've never been.
Never been in there?
No.
Amanda, you ever been there?
Yeah, a long time ago.
I went once in a stick shift. Let me tell you what is terrible is driving through, because first of all, you're never getting out of second gear, right? Because you're creeping along, the animals are coming up to the car, you can feed them out of the car. Hey, there's an ostrich, have some food, ostrich. Here's a giraffe, feed the giraffe. And a lot of deer. That place has a ton of these are different types of deer. Like we got, this deer's from Asia, this deer's from the tundra, this deer's from Africa.
I thought you were going to say, there's Montana, here's Idaho.
Maybe. Yeah,
here's
probably.
Texas deer.
I'll be honest with you, all them deer kind of look the same to me. Like big deer, small deer, medium-sized deer. That's all I see. But they all want to come up and be fed. And so you're stopping like every 40 feet. And so you're constantly just working the clutch and the gas and your knee by the end of that thing is just tore up from the floor up.
Burning out the clutch.
As a terrible plan. But I did it anyway because I wanted to go through the thing. I love a good roadside attraction. I'm going to be honest with you right now. The bigger the tourist trap, the more I'm interested in going and seeing it. If you've got yourself a good mystery hole or a gator farm of some kind or
giant ball of yarn,
giant anything, tiny anything, biggest anything in the world, I want to stop and look at it.
Yeah, I'd like to travel Highway 66 and see all the old stuff there.
Route 66?
Yep, Route 66.
See all the real old ones, like the concrete dinosaur and
whatever it is.
Yeah, whatever shenanigans they got.
Mm-hmm. Motel made out of whatever.
Teapot.
TPs.
They got teepee ones. They got teapot ones. They got all kinds of places you can stay in weird concoctions.
Yeah.
What about you, Amanda? You gonna stop at any roadside attractions?
Yeah, probably.
Ow.
You okay?
Yeah, my belt was digging into me.
Problems.
Fat man problems. I got them all. Yeah, I love a good what you call it, roadside tourist trap. I don't even want a roadside attraction. I want a full on, I want to feel a little swindled when we're done.
You took my money.
I went and saw the world's fattest pig once. I can't argue whether it was actually the world's fattest pig because I don't have a big frame of reference for that, but it was a big pig, and I paid like $1 or something to go see him. It was at the I think the state fair, and they were like, "We got the world's fattest pig," and I'm like, "Okay," and they're like, "It's $1," and I'm like, "Okay," and I gave them $1, and I go back there and went, "That's a big pig."
They probably fed it sweet tea.
Probably. I also saw a mermaid. It wasn't a real mermaid. It was just a lady in a mermaid outfit that you look through a fishbowl lens at, and she was just like laying on a mat. But I gave him $1 to see that.
Was she naked?
Nope. Just a lady in a mermaid outfit. They just promised me a mermaid, and I got a mermaid. I also saw the world's tiniest woman, and they had built a tiny little house for her to live in. It was like a quarter scale house, and then you paid $1 and you went. The state fair is a weird place. I'm gonna be real honest with you, especially back in the day. I don't know if they do this shenanigans anymore or not.
I've never been to state fair.
And so they're like the world's tiniest woman, and you pay $1 and you go see it, and you walk around to the back of the house, and she's just sitting in there like watching Wheel of Fortune, and you wave at her, and she kind of waves back at you, and then you move on with your life and she was tiny. I mean, they weren't wrong. She was little, but I don't know if she's the world's tiniest woman, but she was pretty short, so I feel like I got $1 worth out of that. I paid $0.25 to go through the Boy Scouts. They had a hollowed out like redwood tree that they had turned into like a camper. It was real weird. And you could like pay $0.25 and just kind of walk through the thing and see. It had like a little kitchen and a little seating area and everything. I'll fall for your shenanigans every time. I already talked about going south of the border. I fell for that. Gatorlands, I'll fall for that. Whatever.
I've seen a motorcycle made out of wood, and I just question myself why.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
You got to pay money for that, or is that free?
It was in a parking lot.
I don't even know if it was an attraction. I just saw it.
He was on a trailer, of course. But yeah, it was interesting.
I saw that big old shopping cart that somebody was driving once. That was pretty good too. Like, show me your. We talked about that. While we're talking about cars, I should get to my picture. Oh, get to your picture, Bubby.
So I don't know if you've seen this, Amanda, on our Slack yet.
Okay,
I have the Slack. I can view things.
She can view things. So this is that Springfield pre-owned
car lot.
This is where the
Nissan.
This is where the old Kia used to be.
Yeah.
Right next to where?
Chipotle.
Oh my God, Chipotle. Chipotle
is
is
my
my
life. And
were you at the Chipotle?
I was sitting in the parking lot.
All right.
So I drove by and.
Now, did this occur while you were there?
No.
Okay.
This car was already there, and what it is it's like a Nissan Pacifica or something like that, and it's upside down in a car lot. Well, just right beside a car lot on the green space, right beside it, and you can see all the cars behind it.
Yep, all the cars for sale.
And then there's. I don't know if you can tell or not, but there's a car with, a dark windshield right behind it.
Yep.
That's a police car.
Oh, is it now?
Yeah. He was just sitting there, and there was...
He's like, I don't know what I'm going to do about this.
There were two of them sitting there when I was watching. One left, but they've got caution tape around it, like somebody's going
to... Yeah.
Try to get in it.
Yeah. I think I could drive this thing off. I think it'll be fine.
We better put caution tape around that. And then one of the cops left, and then a few minutes later, a traffic service car came.
Yeah, so that's in Springfield here. They got a group of people whose their only job is to come around when you have an accident and like help you get the paperwork and all the stuff you need to do.
Right. They're not cops.
They're not cops. They're just like state employees. My wife has unfortunately had to deal with them before.
Oh.
And so, they come and they make sure you get all your paperwork and make sure you get a tow truck and all the rest of that stuff. Because the cops ain't got time for your shenanigans.
Yeah, I figured they were maybe coming to relieve him or something.
Yeah. They show up at the accident scene and kind of help out. And so that way the cops can go back to doing what they're supposed to be doing.
But it's the only vehicle there. Like, there was no other damaged vehicle. So
like, they ended up on their roof on their own?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah,
that's the thing. In Springfield, I don't know how they do it, but in Springfield, I see an inordinate amount of cars upside down, singular, one car.
Yeah, I've seen on the side of the road. It's like, how are you the only car in that?
Right.
And I've seen them running the fences on the side of the highways.
Yeah,
it's like just off the road. And
so anyway, did you go over and make a deal on that car, Bubby, at the car lot?
No, but the next day I drove by and I saw that it had been turned over.
No, that somebody flipped it,
and it's still sitting there.
Well, it's a crime scene. There's tape up around it.
So I don't know.
What's the worst accident you got in, Bubby, driving?
Well, I mean, in my first Jeep, I rear-ended the Slibity car
Okay.
on National between Sunshine and Battlefield, and
Total the Jeep.
no, just it was wet, had been raining, and so they stopped to turn across traffic into a driveway, and I slammed on my brakes and just slid into the back of them.
Gotcha.
And they took my insurance information and had it fixed, and cause
Okay.
I had full coverage, so it was fine. But
Fair
I
enough.
got the ticket, of course, because I
of course.
rear-ended them. Yeah.
How about you, Amanda?
I got into an accident on Battlefield Road. I was driving west on Battlefield, and suddenly there was a car like that spun out of the eastbound lane, like spun around and like was suddenly in front of me,
Right.
and like I slammed on the brakes, but I totally like just rammed into the back of that car.
Oof.
And luckily there were several people that like pulled over to like be there,
Right.
because I didn't know, because it all happened really fast, but that person was like driving crazy on the other side of the road, and like I guess what happened was they bumped a car, and then bumped, like when they bounced off the car, they hit the curb and spun across those 3 lanes basically to get to me, and like
Pinballed right at you.
and flipped around in front of me. So like when the cop showed up, it looked like I just rammed into the back of this car, like that had been in front of me. But
you're
luckily the nice people around me saw what happened and explained it.
That dude started way over there.
That guy was not in front of me moments ago. But and I guess there was like another car, like I don't know if these like 2 cars were racing, but there was another car that also hit somebody, but like drove off, like kept going.
Oh, hit and run.
So yeah, so there's a lot going on, but I'm pretty sure it totaled my car. Oof. And like it totaled their car, and
that could have been way worse.
Yeah, I broke my foot.
Oh.
The kid in the passenger seat of this vehicle, his head left like it was like a cartoon. Like you could see where his head was, where it hit the roof of the car.
Oh.
Like there's like a bubble where his head hit.
Wow.
Yikes.
He was really tall, but I was like, yikes. Exactly, yikes.
Trying to flood Flintstone, the roof, pop through the roof.
Yeah, let that dinosaur out the top. Yep.
Right. But after the whole thing, like my insurance company wasn't going to cover like my stuff, because I don't know, there was a big thing, but my insurance company called me, was like, this is your fault, like
how is this my fault?
we're going to raise your rate. And I was like, I didn't get a ticket. And so I had to like file like a form, I don't even remember, with the city of Springfield to get like the police report sent to like sent again to my insurance company. I don't know. It was a mess, but
that sounds traumatic.
It was just ridiculous.
I'm going to tell you my worst one, and then the one that should have been my worst one.
Okay.
My worst one, I was 17 or 18. I had previously just mentioned I had a 1973 Super Beetle. It was my first car. I owned that car like 2 days. And me and my sister are riding in that car, and I look down. It has a tape player, okay? I think we've talked about the tape player in that car before. Yeah. So I'm trying to put a tape in the tape player. Like I said, I've owned this car for 2 days, and I look over to put the tape, and the car in front of me stops. And I am not a good driver. I am 17 or 18 years old, and I'm trying to get it in. And I look up just in time to watch the front of my car plow into the car in front of me. Bends up the wheel well and stuff. His car is fairly okay, but my whole front fender's just caved in. The cop and the wrecker show up, and they just basically pull the fender away from the tire, and I'm able to drive it home, and then it has to go and get repaired, and it's gone for like 3 weeks or whatever. All right, so that's the worst one I was in. Now the one that should have been my worst one. I used to live out in Lampe. Remember? I don't know. You weren't. I don't think we were friends when I lived out in Lampe, Bubby. But I lived out in Lampe, which is, for those who don't know the area, it is way the hell out in the woods. It was like a 40-minute drive from where I worked at the time, which is the old Yakov, what is now the Yakov Theater, all the way out to Lampe. I should live past Lampe and Blue Eye, but whatever. I'm coming into work one day, and I used to own, and Bub, you knew me then, I owned a Geo Tracker Barbie Jeep. Mm-hmm. And I'm coming into work, and it's very curvy through that whole area, and the roads are wet. And I come around one of those curves, and the back end of my car decides it wants to be in the front side and the front of my car is going to be in the back side. Mm-hmm. And so I start around the corner, and that back end starts coming all the way around. And I'm like, oh no. And this is in the woods everywhere, the trees everywhere. And I jam up on the brakes. Like, I am standing on the brakes trying to get this thing to stop. And I go off the road to the only driveway within 2 miles in either direction. I managed to go up their driveway and skid to a halt about 3 inches from a tree. No one sees this. I'm out there by myself. There's no other traffic. These people are not home. No one sees this. I sit in that driveway for, I'm going to guess, 10 minutes, just trying to collect my thoughts. And then I'm like, I guess I didn't die, so I guess I can just leave. I mean, this was an accident, but I don't think I have to stick around. And so
nobody called the police.
Nobody called the police. No one saw. But I mean, this driveway is tree lined, by the way. So I went between all the trees up their driveway, and then there's one at the end of their driveway, and so I just kind of put it in first gear and pull out to the road, and I look around. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go to work, I guess. And I pull out on the road, and now I am going I am a hazard at this point, because I am not going to go fast because the roads are wet and I'm going to die again. Mm-hmm. And so I just kind of creep into work, and the whole rest of the day I'm just frazzled. And then I asked a friend of mine if I just hang out at their house that night, because I was like, I don't want to drive home because I'm just going to die in the woods at night.
Were your
hold on 1 second, and we're back. The dog's mad at the delivery guy. Anyway, your question, Bubby?
Were your tires bald?
They were probably not the best. I was not a good keeper-upper of my car. Okay, so remember
we talked about that.
Yeah. So we just talked about a couple quarts low here not too long ago. Right. That was when I learned that you had to change your oil. And it had been I don't know, year and a half, and I hadn't changed the oil, and I was way over, and my dad was like, you're going to ruin this car. So, and then he proceeded to pour power steering fluid in where the brake fluid goes, and then I had to get a new brake pump. So I don't think the Nelsons are good at cars, is what I learned there. I'm good at changing the headlights and usually changing the oil and getting new tires, and that's about all I'm good for. Everything else is you take it to a guy.
Got a guy for that?
I got a guy for that. I got a couple guys for that. All right. I think we're going to wrap this one up. I think this was a lovely episode. Folks, if you enjoyed this episode, you can write us at our email address. It's allfishandchips@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. Tell us your thing that you used to believe or still believe, even though the universe lied to you. You can check us out on our website. It's allfishandchips.com. All the pictures of the things we talked about today will be posted on our Facebook group, which is It's All Fish and Chips on the Facebooks. If you end up the page, it takes you to the group. Check us out on YouTube. Again, It's All Fish and Chips on the YouTubes. And if you'd like to support the podcast, just like KK and Carol and Anthony and Ed and Jordan and Sarah. There you go. Now you remember, Bubby. You can check us out on our Patreon. It's only $3 a month. And if you become a friend of the podcast, we'll shout out your name on every episode. Or if you'd like to sponsor the podcast, it's only $20. And I'd love to see what happens when somebody does that. So there's that. But having said all that, my name's Thor.
Bubby.
Amanda.
Oh, and remember, folks, no matter what you got going on in your life, it's all fish and chips.
Carol.
Carol. drink.
Have you worn your hoodie?
Not yet. That's this week. We got to get to that thing down there.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how many boop boops that was.
Enough.